Sorry, it's kind of a long video, but yeah, car issues. Hey guys, so thought I'd do sort of another sort of like story time video. I haven't done one for a while. This one sort of I was thinking about recently as I was heading back up home recently for a little bit of a holiday before semester started. Basically I had a little bit of car trouble on the way up home, but it reminded me of some car issue troubles that I had when I was a teenager, when I was on my L's and P's, and about 2 months after I got my L's back in '09, my parents sort of bought an old, like a '92 Ford Laser for me to sort of drive around and learn how to use. And about 9-10 months after we got this car, for me to learn to drive in, me and my mum were coming back from longest drive, driving up to a smallish town about half an hour up the road from my hometown, and we were back in my hometown and we were at one of the traffic lights that wasn't overly far from my house, and it sort of resulted in a car accident. I was behind one car that was going straight ahead and I was going right, and I was when the traffic lights went green, like I couldn't see any car stopped at the traffic lights going the other way. And as the car in front of me went straight ahead, I slowly started to turn, and I couldn't. There was someone like coming down, but there was still a fair distance. So I thought, yeah, I can make it. But this person, which I probably shouldn't have done, but this other person didn't slow down enough, and it sort of resulted in them hitting my car, back rear door, the passenger side, near the wheel. I do have photos, and yeah, it did sort of freak me out a bit, and the back wheel sort of did go on a bit of an angle, and we sort of thought that there might have been a bit of damage behind the wheel, and but there apparently didn't end up being any damage behind the wheel. But yeah, it's like that was sort of the first couple car trouble I actually did have with my car. The next one was probably, yeah, that car accident was in 2010, and then the following year, sort of off-roading incident, I got a little bit lost going to another sort of small town about a couple of hours from my hometown, and it's like at the time I thought, yeah, I think it's this way, but it wasn't, and bit of off-roading experience in the car, and there just ended up being a little bit of damage to the radiator in the car, and the radiator needed replacing. And then after the radiator got replaced, nearly 2 weeks later, like I was heading to Tamworth, which is an hour south of my hometown of Armidale, and I was taking someone down to Tamworth to ref a game of basketball, and my parents were heading to Coffs Harbour, and I was going via sort of like outskirt road to the south side of Tamworth where the basketball courts are, and I was going via the Nundle turnoff, and after I got off this little roundabout, I started noticing that there was a bit of an issue with the car. It wasn't allowing me to speed up, and then my passenger noticed that there was a bit of smoke coming into the car, and then I had to pull over, and then there was just like a whole heap of smoke, and it turns out that the guys who were fixing the radiator and that in my car, they didn't check all the connections in that with my car, resulting in, of course, my car nearly destroying itself, and my parents were pissed at this guy, and my mum had to sort of call up someone from Armadale to come and pick me and this person up after this game, as well as pick this ref up to get her to the stadium to ref in time, and I had to call the NRMA to come help me deal with this car and take it to a car dealership or repair place in Tamworth, and yeah, so that was not a good experience. But and then my car spent about a few months in the driveway, and my dad eventually got one of his brothers, to come and pick it up after a few months, and my uncle spent a good few months repairing my car, and I ended up driving that car around until probably early 2014, and before I moved down to Sydney, and I've a Ford Focus now, and honestly I still love that little Ford Focus. It was my first car. I named her Lily, and yeah, it was just a fun little car to drive, but of course there were definitely a few issues, and I am surprised she managed to last as long as she did. But of course with old cars there ends up being some issues. But of course what inspired me to do the story, when I was travelling up to Armadale about 2 weeks ago, I stopped at the last fuel station on the M1, I think it is, or the Princess Highway, heading north, and to have a coffee as I was travelling back up. And then after I got back in the car, I noticed that the engine light had come on, and it's like, okay, what the hell? And yeah, it's like I had to try and find a dealership on the way up to have a look. One Ford dealership couldn't look because they were freaking busy. But then I ended up going to a Toyota dealership and getting them to have a bit of a look because they were less busy, and yeah, there were just a little bit of an issue with one particular connection or something, and they sort of wrote down the code for the Ford dealership in Armadale to have a bit of a look at, and yeah, it's like, but then I think my parents had like a little bit of deal or something with another little mechanic shop that was running in Armadale, and they went to them and got them to have a look at it and fix up a couple of other things that needed fixing, like the cigarette lighter wasn't allowing me to charge like my phone or let me play music via my iPod via the radio, and yeah, but yeah. So right, it's kind of a long video, but yeah, car issues. so much fun. But yeah, I hope you guys are well. Links will be in the description below, and I will see you guys later.